Hey there, Leo, Sun Leo, Moon Leo, Rising. Welcome to your reading for the week of October 24th through the 29th. We have an eclipse this week, and Spirit asked me to pull cards for the energy around that eclipse, which means that it's going to extend past just this time frame, the overall energy is. But I do want to get into what cards they sent me for that, and then we'll take a look at the energy for this week ahead, and where the moon is moving and how that's going to affect you. Okay, so here's the cards they sent for this eclipse energy. It is a shifting energy. It is actually called the Shapeshifters, and so it's the energy we're moving through. You've got the card of the little brother, the little sister. So what this is about having to be placed in a position of being responsible for others that were more vulnerable or weaker than you. So it could be that as a child you were the oldest and so you were always in charge. It could be that as an adult you've been placed in the position of having to care for your parents. It could be that you are at work and somebody new is coming in and you have been stuck with having to show them the ropes, right? It has been a large burden that you have not been adequately compensated for. That's interesting. Okay, so you may not have felt appreciated. You may not have been, if you were at work, you might have been given extra responsibilities, but not extra paid to go with the responsibilities. It feels heavy. It feels burdensome. It feels like the Ten of Wands, to be honest. And so there's this heavy burden of bearing the load, and it has at times made you feel like you were overwhelmed, out of your depth. This has been so much work that at times you have cried tears of frustration. Whether you've actually cried them or not, there's because some people are like, I don't cry. Well, maybe you don't. But that doesn't mean that frustration and honestly having cried it out would have maybe felt a little better. But there's this energy around it of being in an emotional ocean or lake. It feels more like a lake, not quite the ocean. But it's been overwhelming and the waves have been sloshing around. It's like a Great Lake. Feels more like the Windy City, like Chicago, right? You're out there in Lake Michigan there, and the wind is just blowing everything, and it just feels like it's been very difficult. And so we have this Alice in a Sea of Tears, cast away and out of your depth and feeling abandoned. Now, she comes with two helpers. She comes with the crab and with the rat. And the rat says, hey, I know how to find resources and to help you to find what you need, the information you need, the physical resources is very much about the physical resources, making sure that you have enough that you can manage it. And the crab is about remembering to protect your tender little heart. You are very large-hearted, and yet there's a need to put enough boundaries around it, to have safe, healthy boundaries for yourself, and to use your intuition to navigate and move through difficult times and all these emotional waters. Because if, for instance, you're taking care of your parent, and maybe it's a parent you don't really enjoy, that is an odd and uncomfortable situation to be in. I've been there, and it was tough, and didn't feel appreciated, and didn't, it was rough. Like, the whole thing was rough. And so here's the gift. Thank God there's a gift, right? First off, the gift is, one, knowing that you do have resources available to you. Are you asking for the help and assistance you need to help you through this? And two, learning how to protect yourself. And then three, there is a wisdom that's coming in. And it's coming in now. It's like this sudden download, this insight where all of a sudden you're like, oh my God, wow, look what I just figured out. So that is the energy around that. Ooh, okay. You are struggling to complete a process. struggling to complete a process. There's a card in here that does not, it's not normal. Okay, so I'm using the Osho Zen, and in how do you transform the situation? You have a card that that is outside of the normal tarot. It's called the Master. That's a higher elevation. I'm gonna have to get into the book because the energy coming off of this card is so powerful. The struggle has been to get to the world, to complete the whole process. And how do you transform this situation? You have this Master here. And so I'm hoping that I can find this easily in this. Oh, good. The master in Zen is not the master over others, but a master of himself, and every gesture and every word reflects his enlightened state, the knowledge and the wisdom that you're coming in. He has no private goals, no desire that anything should be other than the way it is. His disciples gather around him to follow him, not to follow him, but to soak up his presence and be inspired. And then together they create an energy field that supports each other's unique individual in finding his or her light. There's an awareness coming in. If you will let a process complete with this eclipse, it's a new moon eclipse, but it is conjunct Venus. And Venus wants to help you to mend fences and to heal the heart and situations that have been difficult. The key here is this Three of Swords. So the key is almost as though you need to melt this ice around your heart, protect your heart, but not freeze out your heart. Okay, so fixed signs are really hard to move, and you're a fixed sign. And you've got eclipses going on in the fixed signs. You've got Saturn doing its retrograde. It just completed. Now it's moving direct, but it's been in a fixed sign for the past 2 years. And we've got an Aquarius, which opposes your sign, adding extra pressure. And then the squaring energy of these eclipses, and Uranus is in Taurus, and that's also squaring your sign. And so it's been like a wheel that's been stuck in place, and it's almost as though the universe is repeatedly hitting it with a sledgehammer to pop it loose so it'll start turning again. And so this has been a kind of a rough summer, and I would say that you really struggled with what the energy was during your sun sign season. I don't know how many Leos truly enjoyed their birthday season this year. There was some really tough energy that happened. Oh, please don't. Thank you. Hold on. I got to fix this. There's a notification that came up. It's from my friend Nancy Richmond Tarot. If you aren't watching her, you should check that out. Okay, so you have here, you've been seeking how to feel successful, the Six of Wands. You've been trying to find the success. You want to, look, it's a tiger too, riding in on this your energy of yourself, right? That big heart, that cat energy. I want to feel successful, but instead I feel burdened, because the overall energy here, we have the Ten of Swords, but they call it the rebirth. And here is the lion energy again. Rising up out of this difficult time, allowing the completion of a cycle. The obstacle has been putting in the final pieces and completing the cycle. And you do this with this mastery energy of understanding that there was wisdom and knowledge to be gained from this. There was something really good that came out of it. But you have been giving so much more than you've been receiving, and I feel like you haven't been receiving the recognition, whether it's financial or the attaboy, attagirl pats on the back. There's been people taking and not giving, and it's been draining your energy. Like when we get drained energetically, if it's around the heart, then it also affects our finances. Or if it's around the finances, it affects our emotions. Or if it's around the emotions, it can affect our creativity. Like wherever the energetic drain is happening, if things are not in balance, it affects everything. And so this is creating a lot of problems for you, because where have you been being energetically drained? We have the Six of Pentacles, the balance, the giving and receiving in balance. And I feel like you've been giving and giving and giving and giving. And now it's icy cold in your heart, and it's frozen and it's empty. It's not really empty though, because it's just frozen. But the emotional waters are frozen. It's cold. It's chilly. And a Leo's heart should be on fire, right? Any movement is progress. You have the Knight of Pentacles. See the rainbow? You don't get a rainbow unless there's been a storm. And he's moving toward the rainbow at a tortoise pace. But it was the tortoise that beat the hare. So you can get there. And so this week is about what is that step that you can take that's forward movement. This is a process that's going to take some time, maybe the month or maybe all the way until we complete the North Node in Taurus cycle, which is May of next year. So it may take that long, okay? But every step counts. Don't sell yourself short just because it's not done like that. It's a healing process. It's a completion process. And I want to say, give yourself your own recognition. Like, stand up for yourself and know that you are worthy of this. And just because other people don't see it, and you can't always step back from it, right? You can't. Like some responsibilities, it does fall on your shoulders. You can't just walk away. You are stuck in that situation. You're not going to receive the recognition and acknowledgement and the financial reward for it. That just is a fact. So how do you rebalance that? That's the mastery. That's remembering to let your light shine. That's remembering to take care of yourself, to put the oxygen mask on, do things that work for you, and allow a cycle to complete. There's also a need to let go of the past in order to allow the cycle to complete. So, if you are still resentful because when you were a child, you were always stuck in charge, and so anytime you're at work and they bring in somebody and they say, can you show them the ropes? Inside of your head, it feels like back when you were a kid and you had to take care of your brother and sister. And so you're resentful of that. That's draining your energy and holding you back. If instead you can understand that that situation happened and it's in the past, and let it go. And say to yourself, this is an opportunity for you to shine, right? Your employer thinks enough of you that you have something of value to share with someone else, and allow yourself to feel proud of yourself. And then that way you are compensating your own self, even if there's no financial thing to it. And then if you train this person well, this could be somebody that you build a rapport with, that when you need help with something a little bit down the line, maybe they can step in and help you too. And in that way it rebalances. It's one way to look at it. If it's your parent, that's harder. Especially if they're in an aging situation, and they were difficult relationship when you were a child. And so sometimes you just have to wait it out until the cycle completes. That being said, where can you find the gift that you can give yourself in the situation as it currently exists? Getting the assistance that you need, asking for help from others. You're like, I do that, but I can't count on them. Okay. How about being proud of yourself that you're somebody that people can count on? And even though it sucks because that means you're stuck with the burden, you fill up your own cup of recognition, because sometimes that's all we can do. So in the area of resources, you have this clinging to the past. It came through in the reverse, and I think that's a good thing. The way to feel more abundant in your life, whether it is emotionally, physically, financially, spiritually, socially, that's interesting, it's to let go of the negative attitudes that have become like it's all encased in the headspace. All this regret and this anger. And so let it go. And I say that like it's easy. It's not. But it's eclipse season, which makes it easier. And so I was sharing this with fellow fire sign Aries. And I'm going to share it with you, but this comes with a caution. Because Mars is going to turn retrograde, so it's moving super slow. It's in Gemini. Air feeds fire, so you be very cautious with this. But for the new moon eclipse, these angers, these resentments, these things that are holding you back, write them down on a piece of paper, punch a little hole in it, and pull some string through it. If you have red string or thread or yarn, that's best, but really anything, okay? And then you're going to have multiple. It doesn't matter how many you have. Write them all down, separate pieces of paper, stick them all through. You have all these cords, right? And then the full moon happens at 6:49 a.m. Eastern time zone here in the U.S. So at or after, it's a new moon, sorry. At or after the new moon, take a pair of scissors, cut the cords. And then take all those little pieces of paper and stick them in a bowl. And I would suggest using your kitchen sink, a bowl in the sink, and burn them, because then you can put out the fire really easily, right? Because I really want to caution you on this. So plus you can run the vent hood so it doesn't smoke up the house, whatever. But burn and release and let these things go. Literally turn them over to spirit. The burden of it, the anger, the resentment. Cut the cords on that. Let that be the gift that you give yourself. And allow the sudden download of insight and wisdom to come to you. Allow you to master the emotional energies and seek only the joy. Because here in the heart space moving forward, you have the 8 of Wands. It's great energy. This is the energy of moving forward, even though in this case, this guy climbing down this mountain, it's kind of cloudy. And he's so dinky there. He's so dinky and small. It's right there, really small. Climbing down the mountain, climbing up the mountain, wandering around a path. It doesn't matter where he's going. He doesn't care. He's trusting that he's going to get there. In your heart space, light the fire, the flame of movement by releasing these things and letting them go. And then pick the future. So again, this card came out in the reverse, and I really believe it's supposed to be in the reverse. We have the card of the 2 of Swords, the schizophrenia here at the end. And I'm going to get real close because I really want you to notice what this picture is. It is this guy. He's naked. That means very authentically who he is. He's clinging to the past with his feet and the future. And it's almost as though he was straddling a fault line, and the earth split open and he fell forward and he grabbed, but he's still hanging on. And you can't stay in that position for very long because the things are still going to keep moving. You're going to have to make a choice. Now, if you hang on with your feet, that's not going to last very long. You're going to fall into the abyss, clinging to the past. But if you're willing to dig in and slowly and steadily start pulling yourself forward to the future, get a little more dirt under your hands and pull yourself forward, you'll be able to let go of the past and move forward safely. It's really up to you. But there is a chance for you to rise back into your power, Leo. Look at this lion there. He's beautiful. It's the completion of a cycle. You know, whether or not you can complete the cycle of responsibility or not, I don't know. But you can complete the cycle of anger and resentment that surrounds it. And that you do have power over. That you do have a choice over. You know, Nelson Mandela was stuck in prison. He couldn't do anything about the fact that he had to wait until everything shifted and changed. But what he could do was not carry anger and resentment. In fact, he created this format, this court system, where after apartheid, excuse me, had been abolished, and he's now in charge of the country, where you were able to face your abuser, and they were able to say they were sorry, and they were able to forgive and to find a way to move forward. And so even though people aren't necessarily going to be willing to do that, you can still do your side of it. You can't control what other people are going to do or not do. Isn't that fun? At least you don't have to have the responsibility of it. So this week, we have a lot of air energy. Nice trine of energy that's holding, which is really going to, great thoughts and ideas coming through, and productivity. Monday could be very productive, even though it's the day before the new moon. And then, that's when the moon is in Libra. And then on Tuesday, we have the moon in Scorpio. Again, 6:49 a.m. Eastern time zone, that's that eclipse. And the energy of Scorpio moon here, we have this creative energy. And I actually wrote for Wednesday, because it's Tuesday and Wednesday, creativity and productivity is really highlighted, because the moon is going to trine with Pisces. Neptune in Pisces. And so there's this beautiful flow of energy, and it can be very creative and very productive, and a lot of new ideas. You have the opportunity to choose to move forward, to complete the cycle of resentment. And when, oh my God, that's so funny. Okay, and then, but don't expect you to get everything done all at once. That moon moves into fellow fire sign of Sagittarius on Thursday and Friday, and you have the card here of believe, the unicorn. Believe in yourself, believe in your dreams, believe in your goals. But you also have the card of slowing down, of nesting, of spending time. It says slowing down. Oh, it says slow down, and this one says slowing down. How funny is that? Take a break. You don't have to be running all the time. That's part of creating the balance. And if that means that, you don't jump up and run to go help somebody today because you need some time for yourself, then do that. Try to keep things in balance. There's my friend Nancy again. All right. And then the moon is going to move into Capricorn for Saturday and Sunday. Mars is going to station retrograde. It's a real chance to figure out where we're going from here. Ooh, look, you have the card of the angel. I just heard you are the angel. So whether or not people here are recognizing how much effort you're putting in, Spirit sees and knows and wants you to know that you are protected and you are loved. So, you may soon encounter a person or event that will benefit you in ways that seems to have angelic origins, or you may be called to be an angel. For those of you who are not caregiving, it may be something that crops up suddenly over the course of the next 6 months. And you're being asked to give with a willing heart. Not because it's good for anyone but yourself. It is good for you to not carry anger and resentment. And if it's a responsibility that you have to shoulder and a burden you must carry, and then try to find the joy in it, try to find the lessons in it, try to find the good things in it. In that way, it's a little more bearable. And it could even be joyful. And that is where the mastery comes in. I feel like there's a lot being asked of you, Leo. A lot being asked of you. And we are never asked to do more than we can. You're capable. And I don't know another sign that is more capable of saying, okay, so this is the situation. Where's the good stuff here? I can find the good stuff. I can manifest the good stuff. You guys have that ability to create genuine joy and happiness. Don't forget to use your creative powers. Do something creative on a regular basis. Walk in nature. These things are very beneficial to your energy. They help to thaw the ice that's gathering up in your heart space. All right? You guys take really good care of yourselves. I am on Facebook every day. I do a premiere video at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time Zone here in the U.S. It's for the collective. I'm pulling cards for each of the signs of the zodiac. If you'd like to join me in the live chat, that'd be wonderful. I'd love to see you there. You guys take really good care of yourselves, okay? Take it slow, take it easy. But it's time to let go of the past so that you can move forward. All right? I'll talk to you soon. Take care.